It's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast for Team Sheet Tantrum for Aston Villa versus Brighton in a massive game for Villa. 3 points for Villa will go an awful long way towards determining where they finish at the end of the season. Obviously, we're less than 24 hours on from when myself and Paddy did our preview last night. I remember I signed off on the preview, mentioning that Leeds may not have been up for the fight against Chelsea, and then obviously they come back and draw 2-2, which was an absolutely great result for us. And you know, West Ham going 1-0 up against Man United, and unfortunately they couldn't see that out until nearly the 99th minute, I think it was. So Fergie time is alive and well in Manchester, or in London it was, but Fergie time is alive and well, and as we know, that was a 1-1 draw. So Aston Villa have their opportunity tonight, knowing what the results were for the two teams immediately chasing us at the moment, and Villa can begin to hopefully eke out that buffer zone, so to say, once again tonight, and it would be great, and it would be a great time to do it versus Brighton. Paddy spoke an awful lot about last night about Brighton's run. You know, we still have to go and beat them. You know, there's teams sometimes when they're down their luck, they come to play against Aston Villa. Traditionally, not so much under Unai Emery, but traditionally they've come to play against Aston Villa, and all of a sudden their striker starts to score goals, and their defender looks like prime Paul McGrath again. And you know, we come away frustrated in a game whereby we should have won, and we needed to win for our own status within the league or whatever the case is, and we don't do that. That has to change tonight. It really does. It really, really has to change tonight. And I'm enthused. Well, I won't say I'm enthused because he said it, but Unai Emery's notes as well today. Just like if that was the team talk before the game, I think it would be I think it would be well received. Deliver our best. Stop thinking about the table, the season's goals, who's playing and who's not. Nothing matters. Only the 3 points. They were from the mouth of the maestro himself, and with that, our team has also came from the mouth of the maestro, or the pen, or the keyboard of the admin, should I say. And we have our team here. We can see it's Martinez in goals, Bogard at right back, so the Matty Cash rumours were true. Konza, Mings and Matson, Onana, Luiz, Sancho, Buendia, Rogers and Watkins starts up top. Marco Bizzat and James Wright are two sub-goalkeepers. Victor Lindelof, Lucas Digne, Pau Torres, Ross Barkley, Leon Bailey, Tammy Abraham, and Alison Edward makes it onto the bench also. Great to see him there. I suppose the surprise to look at that team there, you know, Tammy Abraham on the bench, Ollie Watkins starting, the surprise to some. I know Paddy was very vociferous in his in mentioning that he wanted Tammy to start, and that's absolutely fine. I can understand it after the game against Bournemouth. But he's gone with Watkins up top. The three behind Watkins get to play together again. There was lots of green shoots from Jadon Sancho in that game, I think, at the weekend against Bournemouth. We know Buendia has come up clutch in a lot of games this season, and obviously Morgan Rogers now, I think, does he have 10 goals on the season already? So some great return from him also. Luis and Onana get to rekindle their relationship there, or to kindle their relationship, I suppose, really, based on the fact that they're a new partnership in there. 21 and Douglas Luiz back as always. It just doesn't look right. But it's 21, 24 in there in those positions. And Tyrone Mings keeps his place as the centre half beside Konza, with Bogard coming in at right back. Yeah, look, it's a team. It's an interesting team. There's pace in there. There's also, I suppose, really a lot of people will look at that and go, yeah, it's, you know, we might have wanted to see something a bit different. I said it in the in the preview. I wanted to see something different. I wanted to maybe see him go with a bit more of an attacking intent, should I say there. I've no idea why that removed itself off the screen there. But it did. Oh, that's because Paddy is jumping in here. I didn't think Paddy was going to be jumping on. So I didn't think he was going to be around. But Paddy is here. But I expected a team that had a bit more attacking, and not attacking intent, but I thought they might do something a small bit different in this game. But they haven't. The only change being Maatsen in at left back and Bogard in at right back. Paddy, what's your feeling?
Yeah,
that's why.
Look, you can't hear me.
No, I've got you. I just had the sound turned down. I don't know why.
Look, he obviously has his reasons for playing Ollie Watkins. I'm just disappointed that it's not one for Tammy to go and bust his lungs from the word go. Other than that, you know, we found out through the grapevine that there was an issue to Matty Cash. Maybe he gets a rest, maybe he gets a week off now, maybe he doesn't be involved at the weekend either. But you know, you can't help but ignore we've got two goalkeepers on the bench for a big game like this, and see how threadbare we are. So bit disappointing to see Matty pick up an injury. Hopefully it is only a short-term thing. And look, if Ollie is not working, he needs to bite the bullet and put Tammy in there, because what is the point in paying that money when we could have brought in a midfielder or something. But he obviously maybe feels that Tammy isn't ready to play in the system yet from the start. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I put 15 quid on Tammy to score a hat-trick at 45-1. Just in solidarity with how much you wanted him to play. So it can still happen. But yeah, so that's money lost already for me tonight with Tammy Abraham not playing. It would have been a nice winnings, put it that way, but still.
If Tammy comes on, do they count what Ollie? And maybe it won't matter, but if Tammy comes on, do they count what Ollie done before him?
Well, I don't know. It's I wouldn't imagine so. But yeah, look, it's Unai Emery is going with the tried and trusted, specifically at home, and that's why I thought that he would start Watkins at home, because it's at home specifically. Now, I think there's a short leash there. But I think there's a short leash there. But also, I'm absolutely 1,000,000% convinced that we will finish this game with both Watkins and that Tammy Abraham on the field. I'm just convinced we will.
Well, it depends what the score is. You'd presume if it's tight, we could see both of them out there, but I would hope that it won't come to that. Because you know he's got to have the weekend in mind, and surely he starts Tammy at the weekend if he's not starting tonight, and Watkins gets the rest. We just don't know what's going on. You know, he's very guarded. He doesn't give the information out too easily. So the Cash one was kept under wraps. Hopefully it is only a minor injury, as we say. Don't think there's any complaints of Maatsen coming in for Dina.
No.
But, you know, it's always a worry. This is, after the results going our way last night, this is now a huge game. It's a chance to put that buffer back in there. We don't see a Premier League game again for another 10 days. It's going to be a tough one against Leeds. This and every other game from now on in is the most important game of the season. Not the FA Cup, in my opinion, but these league games, because we do not compete at the highest level if we don't have Champions League football. We can't eat at the top table without Champions League football. It needs to be happening year in, year out from here on in. Otherwise, we lose our talent. We had a conversation today about bringing in two players, and I was going, sure, Morgan Rogers' money will pay for that. It's just the way we're tuned in now that we have to think that way. And look, get the result tonight. I don't care how it comes. I'd love to see us go out and pummel a team, but I can't see where it's coming from at the moment. So get the win. I'm going to go for 2-1. I haven't even seen the Brighton team, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win.
Yeah, let me bring up the Brighton team there as well. You're going for 2-1. I'm going to go for you know what? I'm going to go for a 3-0 win. Why not? Because I've got a distinct memory Or was it last year? Maybe it was the year before. We were saying this, we haven't given a team a right tonkin at all this season. And then we went out against Brighton and we gave them an absolute hammer in 1 year, if I remember rightly. So maybe lightning strikes twice. That's just me being optimistic. I'm not hoping that like, I'm not expecting that. I'm just want to go for, like, put it this way, Villa have to score 3 goals for me to get my Tammy Abraham hat-trick. So that's why I'm going for it. That's my reasoning. I'm sticking to it. We have the Brighton lineup here as well. There we go. So for Bruggen and goals, Dunk, Van Hecke, Hinchelwood, then Baleba. So it's going to be Veltman, Dunk, Van Hecke, and Kadoglu. Hinchelwood, Baleba in the 2 holding positions with Matomo and Gomez and Gross in behind Danny Welbeck. On the bench, they have Jason Steele, Jorginho Rutter, Minta, Costioglas, Jimmy Milner, never heard of him, Boscagli, De Kuiper, Max O'Reilly, who's back from Marseille, and a young man called Howell in there as well. Obviously, Paddy, Jimmy Milner, just a pro's pro, an absolute pro's pro. I just never have a bad word. I'll have a bad word to say about him if he comes on and scores the winner. But I've never had a bad word to say about him when he was playing with Aston Villa, and could make a milestone appearance tonight, Paddy, if he gets on the field.
I really couldn't give a shite about his milestone once we beat them. He can have all his plaudits when the game is over, but for now, it's all about getting 3 points on the board, and they've got a tough team out there to beat. You look around at, fair enough, there's a couple of changes in there from the weekend. The Kuiper has come out. I expected to see Matt O'Reilly back in there. Maybe he's not fit enough. Howell came out at the weekend as well. So the evergreen Pascal Gross is there. Always gave us trouble over the years. Welbeck, again, put him in that category. Duncan Van Hecke, very solid. And Jack Hinchelwood, who I did the Talk of the Trinity podcast last night, he would be the one person I would take out of our whole squad for the Villa squad, because he's one for the future. He is really going to be a top-class footballer, should he keep his head together. So, look, it's going to be a tough night either way. I hope we're not feeling too much pressure, and I hope that we can get the game done in a workmanlike manner. Get it done early, and we can all relax a little bit.
That'd be nice. This game, of all the players that were missing, so to say, this game is the one of all. For this game, I would absolutely love to have John McGinn for this game. I don't know why. I'm not so worried, and people will completely disagree. And I know, obviously, I would like to have Boubacar Kamara and Yuri Tielemans, but because it needs a kind of a grab it by the scruff of the neck, and and effort. And when you're finished giving effort, give it more effort. That's where John McGinn comes in games like this. The whole win at all costs mentality that he has. It'd be nice to see him out there, but he's not going to be out there. And as Unai Emery said, we can't be worrying about who we don't have. We have to worry about who we do have, and all that matters is 3 points. Yeah. So if you guys want to start putting your scores into the stream there, into the the chat, we will start running through them in one moment. I'm just popping in we are obviously going to be throwing you guys over to Stato's link, so I'm just making sure that we have that all correctly set up. If you guys want to do the watch along with Stato, you just got to stay here and we'll throw you directly into his stream in 2 seconds. Just as well, one last, not last final, because Jesus, we've another 17 and 28. We've another 45 days before the live podcast in Dublin, but still a few tickets there if anybody wants. There was actually quite a lot of tickets bought, or quite a few tickets, should I say, bought last night after we did the podcast last night. So numbers are dwindling and they're getting there at the moment. Still available. Should be there in the bio as well underneath this. You can click there and you can get your tickets for that. And for those of you who didn't hear who the final person was, the lineup is Mark Draper, Alan Wright, Super Tommy Johnson, and as always, the evergreen, brilliant and wonderful Ian Taylor will be joining us as well. Back for a second one, and who knows, maybe if we do one next year, he might come back for the hat-trick ball, Paddy, and we'll be able to That's if we get Champions League, who knows where we'll have it? We might have it out in the continent somewhere. It would be great.
After the strength of this one, Neil, it might take a while before we do another one. So if people are expecting this to be a regular occurrence, come along to this one because it might be a while.
Rightio. So we have some scores in here. Camera Baby's first innings going 1-0. Mr. Ponge is going 3-1 Villa. Junior is going for 2-0. Brendan Miller is going for 2-0. Jordan Levy's going 2-1. Kev Hunter, good to see you. Kev is going for 2-1. Kev, I saw your office. It's some job. Love the Aston Villa stuff around there as well. You go, man. I like to see it. Quantum is saying 2-0. Gav is going for 2-1. Western Oud is going 1-0. Richie Ryan is going 1-0. Dennis is going for a draw. Black Country Villains going for 2-1. Top GS FIFA Gaming is going for 3-0. Relearning the Game is going 3-1. Dicky is going for 2-1 with a 97th minute winner. I genuinely, if it was a 107th minute winner, it wouldn't bother me. Broken is going for a 3-1. John Steele is going for 4-1. Audrey is going for a 3-0. Garrett McDonough is going for a 3-0 as well. 2-0 says Andrew Monroe. Cash actually asked the question, who would you take from the Brighton lineup? Paddy, you said Hinchelwood. I'd take Van Hecke. I just think he's a cracker of a player. Nicole is going for 3-1. Sean Gallagher is going for 2-1. Tough Nights, as Paddy said, says Peter. He's going for 2-0. Charlie's going for 2-0. Michael Smith's going 2-0. Ross is going 2-0. Bertie's going for 1-1. 2-0 says C Juice. 3-1 says Be Happy. Sophie's asking, is Tammy playing? No, unfortunately, he's on the bench. And he's starting with Ollie Watkins. 2-0 says Flange. 2-1 Villa says Bulldog. 2-1 says 38 DOR. Ronan's going 2-0. Porrick's going for 2-0 or 2-1. Brett is going for 2-1 to Brighton. Whitman's going for 2-1 to Buendia. Or 2-1 to Villa with Buendia and Rogers goals. Cash is going 3-0 with a Tammy hat-trick. And we're going to finish on that in the good juju of Tammy getting a hat-trick. However he gets it, if he's brought on in the 60th minute, I will be, there'll be no pants on for the post-match podcast. That would be for sure. There'll be celebrations all around. So, that's going to do it for today. As you guys can hear, my voice is probably going to go any minute now. So I'm going to wrap it up. And everybody get in front of your TVs. An hour to go before kickoff. Stato will be jumping on within the next half hour or whatever. We will throw you directly into his feed there as well. If you need to drop out, come to Stato's feed for the watch along afterwards, and he's going to bang you straight into our post-match podcast then afterwards, because we're all sound like that ourselves in Stato, helping each other out, which is always great to see. So thanks so much for that, as always, Dale. And thank you so much to all of you for joining us tonight and for coming and having the chats. So we'll see you for the post-match podcast. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.